We've made videos in the past about people that like to push doom and gloom, and they like to say that they know exactly when this next bear market is coming. They'll say it's a ticking time bomb. Today we've got Steve Hammond, who's seen his fair share of bear markets, and he's actually looked around the corner, so to speak. He says his crystal ball used to work at least. So Steve, can you tell us a little bit about how you might be able to predict something like a Black Monday or a Great Recession?
Well, Grayson, Black Monday, for those that haven't been around for a very long period of time, is when the stock market in October of 1987 declined over 22% in one day. So, we've had about two of those in the history of the market. And so they're very rare. We've had markets that have gone down, 40, 50%, but usually it does it over a longer period of time. So a Black Monday would be very, very difficult to predict. A lot of things that worked for us back in the past in trying to determine pretty much a market top worked fairly well up to about 2010 or 12. But if you look at Schiller PEs, just regular PEs, projected PEs, most of that here in the last 10, 12 years hasn't worked very well as far as picking a market top. The market just seems to keep going higher and higher and higher. So to answer your question, to pick the next Black Monday would be very, very difficult.
I think that's a good assertion there, because nobody really can see in the future like that, and especially to predict something as crazy as a 22-point drop. I think the only other example of a major drop like that was during COVID in 2020, when the Dow sold off about 12% in a day. I'm not sure what the S&P did, but that's the other time when there would have been a major drop like that. And I remember sitting in business class and people were talking about COVID-19, and since the media is always talking about Ebola or the swine flu, and it's going to be the next thing that changes everything, they had cried wolf so many times that even when we knew about it ahead of time, it was hard to predict it. So can you tell us maybe a little bit about what's a good strategy for holding on during those bear markets if maybe you don't know when exactly the bottom is going to be?
If you have a good basket of investment stocks or mutual funds or ETFs, the thing to do is just ride the market out. It may go 12, may go 18 months, but if you can ride it out, if you don't have a time horizon where you got to have the money, if you can ride it out, you will be okay. All these companies that make up an ETF mutual fund are not going out of business because the market turns south for a while. We've seen this over and over and over. The market usually will decline 10, 20% about at least one time every 3 years. So if you look about over the last 100, 150 years, we've seen a lot of that. So it's nothing to be afraid about. There's nothing to get shook up about. Maybe you should actually be optimistic and think, hey, this is a buying opportunity for me, and we're going to buy more when the price gets low.
That's right. They say it's on sale when it goes down 20, 30%. So that's a good time to get in and prepare for your future and buy just a little bit more. So until next time, unless you want to speak with us, we'll put the link down below. May God richly bless you.